Hey guys, today we are talking about the RAMP protocol for warm-up. RAMP is an acronym where R stands for raise, A and M stands for activate and mobilize, and P stands for potentiate. With ever-evolving fitness industry, it won't be incorrect to say that warm-up is the most underrated aspect of the training. However, athletes and people who understand the importance of warm-up, they weigh warm-up equivalent to their main training session. So considering warm-up as equally important as the main portion of the training, there is a protocol that is known as RAMP, which could be used for effective and efficient warm-up. In RAMP, R stands for raise. It involves the activities that increase the level of key physiological parameters, and not only that, it also increases the skill set of the athlete for the subsequent activity. This phase is more like general warm-up that aims at increasing athletes' body temperature, heart rate, respiration rate, blood flow, and joint fluid viscosity via low-intensity activities. It is critical for us to know that these activities are not like traditional warm-up activities such as general aerobic warm-up. Instead, these activities stimulate the movement pattern that athlete is going to deploy while training or while participating in his or her sport. For example, a sprinter will perform small bouts of light intensity sprint specific drills which will help the sprinter to increase his or her core temperature and also prepare the major muscle included in sprinting such as quadriceps, hamstring, gastrocnemius, Achilles tendon, etc. Alright, so in RAMP, now let's talk about A and M, which is activate and mobilize. This phase corresponds to stretching and mobility component of typical warm-up. Alright, let's talk about activate first. So activating the muscles within the sport spectrum using some active and passive stretches so that the muscles are well prepared for the subsequent activity. Let's continue with the sprinter's example. For example, ILIOPSOAS and RECTUS FEMORIS activation using forward lunge fencer. Activating hip extensors, which is gluteus maximus and hamstrings, using supine knee flex. Activating hamstrings and gastrocnemius using sitting toe touch. This activation will make sure that the sprinter has enough muscle activation for the sprint performance. Mobility, or actively moving through a range of motion, requires a combination of motor control, stability, and flexibility. And it is closely related to the movement patterns that an athlete will face while performing his or her sport activity. Continuing with the example of sprinter. So after activating muscles which will be majorly engaged while sprinting, athlete would like to increase the joint mobility using some joint mobility drills. So joints such as glenohumeral joint, hip, knee and ankle get extensively used while sprinting. So mobilizing these joints with proper neural control will be beneficial for the athlete. For example, a sprinter can perform dynamic stretches such as lunge walk to actively engage hip, knee and ankle, walking knee lifts similar to lunge walk that will activate hip, knee and ankle, shoulder flexion and extension mimicking sprint mechanics. Alright, at the end in RAMP, P stands for potentiate. This phase is more like specific warm-up but also focuses on the intensity of the upcoming activity. This phase deploys sport-specific activities that progress in intensity until the athlete reaches the intensity on which that athlete has to perform for his or her sport. This phase is vital for performance, especially for activities that require high speed, strength, or power. Indeed, the more power necessary for sport or activity, the more important potentiation phase becomes in warm-up. Continuing with the sprinter's example, a sprinter would mimic sprinting movements closer to the actual intensity. For example, A skip, power skip, double arm bound. I sincerely hope that after watching this video, you guys will be giving equal importance to warm-up just like the main training. I'll see you again with more knowledge and more topics.